Cooking with Gloria. Today I want to share with you very delicious ground beef tacos, the best you have ever tasted. Nice and crispy, nice and delicious, and I know you guys are going to love it. But first things first, my apron is on, my hands are clean, and I am ready to show you my ingredients. These are my ingredients: mayonnaise, lettuce, poblano chilies, onion, tomatoes, oregano, salt, garlic cloves, tortillas, ground beef, and vegetable oil. This is everything we need for this delicious tacos made at home. So let's get started. I want to start with my veggies, and let's take them to the sink. Let's rinse our lettuce and our tomatoes through running water, making sure that we rinse them really well. Okay, they are nice and rinsed, and now I'm going to continue with my garlic cloves. You want to dice them really finely, really small, so that they release all that delicious flavor into the ground beef. You know something, I'm going to continue with my onion, and the same thing I'm doing, just cutting in little squares. The same thing with my tomato. You want to make sure that everything incorporates perfectly. Okay, I have my ground beef here. I have my pan already nice and hot, and I'm adding my ground beef. I'm just pulling it apart, adding a little bit of water because we don't want extra oils, and I'm adding my salt, my diced garlic, and my oregano. I'm going to put the oregano on my palms, and I'm going to rub my palms because I want it nice and finely, all nice and finely, all on the top. Okay, let's mix it until it starts cooking very well. Okay, it's nice and brown. I want to show you how this looks. Now I'm going to add my tomato and my onion, and I'm just going to incorporate it completely until the tomato is really nice and soft. It's going to be cooking for about 15 minutes, and now I'm going to continue with my poblano chilies. I have roasted them, taken the skin off of them, and now I'm slicing them right through the middle. I'm going to make 3 little pieces out of this poblano chili, just like this. I'm going to continue with the rest, but I want to show you how long the pieces are, just like this. Okay, I'm going to put them on my plate. I'm going to continue with my lettuce, and let me start slicing the lettuce and then cutting in little squares. Okay, this is completely done, and now let's go check on the meat. Let's see how the meat is doing. Let me show you that there is not a lot of grease on the bottom, or actually, tell you the truth, none of it. The tomato juice is already, the tomato, release all that delicious juices, and I'm adding the poblano chilies. They're gonna cook for about 10 more minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and then this will be completely done. I am going to continue with my tomato, which I'm gonna dice in very small little pieces, and I'm gonna add it to my lettuce. Once you have it really nice and diced, let's add it to the lettuce, and let's add the 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And we want to incorporate it completely until everything is nicely incorporated. Look at this. Look how you could see the little pieces of the tomato, all in between the lettuce. This is perfection. Now I have my tortillas here. I'm going to take them to the microwave and just warm them up for a couple minutes. I have my toothpicks here. The tortillas are nice and warm, nice and manageable. Remember, you want them nice and warm so that when you add all the meat in the center, they're nice and pliable. And be generous with your ground beef and with your poblano chilies. Remember that we're using the toothpicks, so the meat and the poblano chili will stay inside the taco. So be generous and add as much or as little as you want. Let's cover it. We just need 2 toothpicks. And you know something? This is a little larger so that it's easier to remove when the taquitos are nice and crispy. Look at this. I'm going to continue making the rest of the taquitos just like that. It really doesn't take too long because they are really nice and stuffed with all the delicious ground beef and poblano. Well, I'm going to continue with the rest. I wanted to show you this step. My pan is really nice and hot and I added some vegetable oil. And now I am ready to start adding the tacos. We want them nice and crispy, and to tell you the truth, it doesn't take too long before they get really nice and crispy. Just be careful because when you flip them, then be careful because they could get burned very easily. Now I have a plate here with some napkins, and I'm going to start putting my tacos there so that the excessive oil will fall on the napkins. I have my pickled jalapenos here that you already have on my channel, and this jalapeno I'm gonna enjoy with my tacos. I wanted to show you that there's jalapeno, carrots, and onions. And now let's reveal this delicious taco. I'm taking the toothpicks off, and now I'm just going to add the delicious mixture of the lettuce. Be generous with your mixture. Just like this, I'm going to add just a little bit of queso fresco on the top, but I want to add my pickled jalapenos right on the side. I am ready to taste this, and I am ready for the presentation, so I'll see you in a bit. This looks amazing. I can't wait to taste it. My friends, I am completely done with these delicious poblano tacos that I know that you guys are really going to love. Of course, I have them right here, and I added some lettuce with tomato and a little bit of mayonnaise, and my pickled jalapeno that you already have on my channel. Of course, that I have a pineapple lemonade, which is just made at home, and I can't wait to taste it. Let me see how this came out. I added some queso fresco right on the top. Excuse me. This really came out amazing. All this is a full meal. If you liked and loved my recipe, I invite you to subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, share my video with your friends, with your relatives, with your neighbors, of course in social media, so Cooking with Gloria keeps growing. Don't forget to push the notification bell, and if you did, leave it activated so every time I make a delicious recipe, yes, you are going to be notified. Before I say I see you soon, I wish you nothing but the best. Peace and love. And of course, I will say enjoying these delicious, crispy tacos. See you on my next delicious recipe. Bye-bye.